disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fist, Kicks, and Flicks, a podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. And on Mondays, you got the Winner Circle with myself, Isaiah Gathings, Chris Walker, and Angel Diaz. Tuesdays is the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Wednesdays, you can get the traditional way with Brett Shumway. And Thursdays is us, Fist, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And, of course, the main app. Joe, it is showtime. What's happening?
Pretty easy week for the most part. You know, just doing the family thing. Get things done. What was it? Sunday? I think it was Sunday. The family, you know, every once in a while, they like to go to the Dixieland flea market and see what they can find, you know, hidden treasures or whatnot. So the girls, they didn't get much of anything. Usually they find little trinkets or random clothes and stuff like that. But my son, he comes back with throwing knives and a ninja star for me. We have this, I don't know where we got this target. It's been in my house for a while now. It's a cork target. And it says, it's painted all black. It's got targets, and it says ninja, ninja, ninja. So I'm like, oh, well, now I know what we can use this for.
I'm actually surprised you don't have something set up in your backyard where you can throw ninja stars or knives or something like that.
You know, I used to have all that stuff, and I'm sure I just lost it over the years. But these are the ninja star is pretty serious. It's pretty bladed. You know, I hold it in the middle. And I had to show my son how to do it because I'm surprised my wife let him get it. Like, but he was so, you know, I mean, he's 13. I told her the other day, I was like, he's talking about he wants to go hunting. Like, I shot my first gun at like 9 years old. Like, it's no big deal, you know, guns and you know, I got a pocket knife and all that stuff when I was younger. So, you know, she's a little weary about it, but now I'm trying to tell her, like, you know, let him be a man. Like, you know, that's what little boys do, man. They go out, they want to go camping, they want to get dirty, they want to, you know, shoot stuff or throw stuff and have some fun. It's good. So the throwing knives, I kind of know how to throw them, but I looked up a tutorial. But the Ninja Star, man, I'm throwing that like a pro. I'm like, I'm ready now. I'm just going to start hiding in trees.
You gonna pretend to be Poe?
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, you remember when we were kids, man, and we would go to these tournaments. They always had the table that had all of the real martial arts weapons, but also you can get the fake stuff, the foam stuff also. Did you ever get any of that stuff?
All the time. All the time. And the foam nunchucks, you know, when I was younger, they were fine. But when I got older and I used to swing those, you know, because they're only plastic on the inside, I would break them. Because I was swinging them too fast. So then, you know, I had to upgrade. And I think I got some wooden ones. And the wooden ones worked out a lot better, except for when you make a mistake, you feel it.
Yo, definitely.
Like in sidekicks, you hit yourself, like you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, you know what, man? My dad had some black plastic ones I used to mess with. He showed me, you know, just how to go over the front to back, you know, do this movement. He showed me how to do that, but that was it. Travis took it up a little bit more seriously, and he had his own nunchucks that he was using. He was trying, but once again, we never had anyone that was able to teach us how to use weapons. We're fighters, you know, and in the Plowden system, so we never got a chance to really learn.
Yeah, I've always it took me a while to get around because I ended up doing every weapon except for the one I really wanted to do forever, which was the sword. And then I finally started picking up the sword the last few years and learning that a little bit. I mean, there's more I can learn, but for the most part, I got most of the strikes, and the learning to sheath it and unsheath it is actually like I practice that every day for like a month just to get good at it. Because if you don't do it right, it looks really bad. You got to get really quick at it.
So, in about 2 or 3 years, things are going to change for you. You know, your son is 13 now. He's going to be 15 or 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Your daughters are going to be in college, right? What does Joe Hartley do at that moment? Do you go back to doing forms or breaking in martial arts? Do you think you go back to doing some type of competing? I mean, maybe you might decide you want to jump in the senior division, or would you be a forms guy, or find a tournament where you can actually do breaking, or would you explore some other type of hobby or something else you'll be interested in doing?
I want to do all that, but I really want to get into the BBJ. That's been I kind of slacking on that, but I've been wanting to do that for a while. I just don't have time right now. But if I get a little bit of time, like if I can get 2 days a week right now, I would find a club and start learning, because I know it's a long road. I didn't realize how long it was until I started hearing you and Zeke talk about it.
Oh yeah, man.
Like in 10 years, I'm still not going to be no black belt, which I like that, because I'm like you, like you're telling your uncle, I like just being a student again. I like learning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I feel like as black belts, we kind of got thrust more into competition and teaching and a little less on the learning. And it's almost like I kind of miss that.
Yeah, I mean, so I got my first degree black belt in 91. We got our second degree black belt in 93. We had to do the same stuff again and then test and everything. And then of course we were still in class. We were still training ourselves at that time, right? When it was time to but that was it. That was pretty much the end of it.
Yeah.
After that, it was just perfecting our fighting skills, and there was nothing new really coming in. Now we could, because Ski was the type of person that he would always reach out to someone else. He would meet people at tournaments and ask them, how to do certain kicks. And he's doing those jump spinning kicks and tornado kicks and 360s and 720s. He's networking and doing all these other techniques. And he's still, learning how to use the commas, But as far as traditional karate goes, we weren't really learning anything new. We didn't have anybody come in and would teach us something different. Every now and then, Master Peeler would come in and he would do those Arnis fighting sticks with us. He would do that with us. But other than that, man, we really weren't learning anything new. We were just perfecting what we already knew and becoming better fighters.
Yeah.
So learning the grappling stuff, and I could just sit back and just absorb it and ask questions. And then I can, that's just the thing, like the school that I go to, like, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, what I'm learning goes hand in hand with the type of karate that we do. It feels like to me like it's almost a missing piece. So for my students, they're going to get that as part of their normal curriculum.
Yeah.
Because we can blend some of the stand-up techniques to close the gap to get close to someone in a real life street life confrontation. You can use our karate stand-up techniques so every fight starts on the feet. And then once you get close enough, you can either take someone to the ground or do whatever, So I'm just really enjoying myself. So, and once again, I'm not really focused on the belts. Even though it's cool to get the belts and the stripes and stuff like that, but that's not the main focus. And the main focus is learning these techniques, getting good at it, and then teaching it to my students. So it's almost like there's no stress and no pressure.
So the last time I got back into things before I came back to your uncle, I was looking for a place that just I wanted more Tung Sudo, because I was originally Tung Sudo. I found a place in Novi, and they started me off at like a high level red belt, So I think I had like 4 testings, and then I got a black belt through them. And they offered all kinds of other programs, including some BBJ. Now they were only teaching it an hour, like once a week, and they were teaching very basic. And then they would have it at.
What year was this?
This was like 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe like 10 years ago. Nah, because I wasn't in my 30s. It was like I was probably like 36, 37.
Okay.
Because my son was still going through treatment and all that stuff. So
Okay.
it was at least less than 5 or 6 years ago. That's about right. Anyhow, they had one tournament at the end of the season where they did the regular stuff, but then they did breaking and jiu-jitsu. So I did the breaking, and the way they did their breaking, it kind of, I don't know if all tournaments do it this way, but you go first and then all the way down the line. So they drew numbers and I had to go first.
Okay.
So it'd been a while since I broke, and I set up 15 bricks. I know I can break 15. The problem was I chose to do a palm strike instead of an elbow. And I watched everybody else breaking more than 10 do an elbow. So I'm like, I started thinking like it makes sense because it's almost like a hammering action. But I was always like, I broke 15 with a palm strike before. Well, I thought for sure I had it, and I did. I got through 14 of them. But if you set up and you don't break what you set up, it doesn't count. So basically, I got disqualified. And the guy who ended up winning, I think he only had to do, because everybody else got through 14, I think, 15 maybe. So I think he had to do 16. And he did it with an elbow strike. And so that was fun. But then I signed up to do the jiu-jitsu. Everybody in that ring, 2 of them were about the same level as I was. One was a little better, and the other 2 people that I went against were wrestlers. They were not jiu-jitsu. And so this one, no chokes, but you could use Kimura, armbar, no leg locks. So first guy, I go out, take him out, Kimura. Just overpowered him. I don't know what his skill level was, but beat him. Next guy, I watched him do a armbar from a guy who was standing. So I was like, oh, this is good. I thought he was going to take me out. But I put him on his back, and we were in the process. I was swimming to try and get a better hold, and then I was going to move over to guard, and I was going to work anything I could, a Kimura, maybe an armbar. I was trying to work an armbar.
You mean a side mount?
Yeah, side mount.
Okay, yeah.
And he tapped. Now he said I had choked him with my forearm. I had a crossface on him. I didn't have him across the neck, but for whatever reason, he tapped and got all mad and stormed up. But I was like, "Hey, win's a win. I'll take what I can get." I was controlling the match. I already was up like 5 points. So, and he couldn't. I think he got frustrated because he couldn't move me. Because he was a little shorter, and we were about the same size, but he was shorter than me, and he couldn't maneuver anything on me. So I think he just. And then the next 2 guys were just wrestlers, so I took them out. And the last guy, he had me on points, but he never tried to. He kept trying to wrestle me, and so I literally said to myself, "He's gonna go behind me, try to flatten me." Which, if you do that in jiu-jitsu, and I know it's coming, I rolled him, got my reversal, turned around, put him in a Kimura, done. And he was mad when I reversed him because there was like 20 seconds left, and he was up on me by like 4 points.
So you got first place in the jiu-jitsu tournament without really knowing any jiu-jitsu.
Like the bare minimum. My level of like knowing positioning and all that was bad. I knew like 2 escapes. The rest of my escapes were from wrestling. That's what I hit him with. I actually hit him with we called it a 5-point Granby. So you get in wrestling, I would have got 2 points for a reversal and then 3 points for putting him on his back for more than 5 seconds. But that's all I did. It's just a tripod roll and take him with me. But if he wouldn't have tried to if he would have had any kind of jiu-jitsu at all,
Mhm.
I just knew the second that he was going behind me, I just grabbed his leg. Now
Mhm.
you're stuck. Now I'm gonna take you with me, and then it was over. So it was funny. That was the only jujitsu thing I ever did.
But you had
And then
fun. That's all that
I
matters.
did. I had a great time. I was like, I didn't expect anything out of it. I just wanted to see what it was about.
Mhm.
And like I said, their rules are probably a little different than a regular. So yeah, I had fun with it. So I really want to do that. That's a goal of mine.
There's a
Uh,
lot of wrestlers now in jiu-jitsu now, especially when it comes to no-gi. Lots of wrestlers are in it. It's probably majority wrestlers or people who wrestled in high school and college. That's not Brazilian. They probably were wrestlers at some
I
point.
think a while ago, Dan Kuzno had some jujitsu at a tournament, and I watched it, and most of the people were wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I think like one or two were grapplers. The rest were all. In fact, they came in their singlet.
Yeah.
I was like, this is jujitsu, not wrestling, right?
Well, that's what they're. I mean, now they're calling the jiu-jitsu. A lot of guys are calling it American jiu-jitsu instead of Brazilian jiu-jitsu because they're incorporating a lot more wrestling into the sport now of jiu-jitsu, and it's not really the same as what they do back in Brazil and the stuff that was passed down. So
I'm gonna tell you, wrestling and jujitsu are two, because in wrestling, if you're on your back, you're in trouble. And jujitsu, you can work a lot of stuff off your back.
right.
So I mean, the wrestlers try to stay off their back.
Right. But it's all about the controlling.
Yeah.
Controlling someone, being able to control someone, So
Yeah, you get wrist control, you break them down, you try to, and then in wrestling, you try to flip them over. Where in MMA, you're working submissions or working on better positioning.
right. And trying to mount or take the back.
How you been, man?
I've been good, man. So we had a tournament. We had
Yeah, I heard
Curtis
you talk
Box
about that
tournament.
on the Warrior Way. I like
Yeah.
that.
Winter Circle.
Oh, sorry. Listen, man, I got too much in my head.
That's no problem, man. So yeah, man. So we had a good time at the tournament, man. I took 8 kids, 5 of them placed. And I was happy for Jenna. She got first place. That was her first place out of 2 years of competing. I didn't even realize that. I really did not realize it because she was always fighting for first, second, or third. So I never really, it's been 2 years she's been fighting. I didn't think that she hadn't won a first place yet, So I asked her before the tournament even started if she's ever won a first place. She was like, no. So now I pretty much understood why she was so happy back in April when she literally was about to win at Jaime Serrato's tournament. She was about to win and she lost it within the last few seconds, So I saw how disappointed she was. So I told her, I was like, you're gonna get first place today. Don't worry about it. You've been working out, you've been training. You're getting first place today. And she did, and she was happy, she was ecstatic. Her dad was there. Her dad's always there. Her dad, he brings her to class, everything. But her grandmother showed up also, and she had some other family members there. I think one of them might have been her mom also. She had a few people there that was there cheering for her. So I was happy that she was able to do it in front of her family.
Yeah, that's all.
I had another student, little Cadence. She ended up getting first place. That was her first tournament in the 7 to 8 year old novice division. She got first place for the first time, and her dad just told me tonight that she just got the bug. Now she's ready for her next tournament. So said, well, we're gonna work on some things and get her ready, because she'll be competing. I told him it was January 25th. I think that's when Arctic Challenge returns.
Yep.
So going to get ready for that. So. Yeah, man. Other than that, man, I kind of hurt my back. I kind of hurt my back last week, and I went to go get on the Friday morning. I went to go get on the bike, and all I did was put my arms up and to pull the bike out, and I just felt my back just lock up.
Oh, that's what happened to me.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is such an uncomfortable pain right now. And I just sat down on the couch, and about an hour later, Melissa came down, And she was like, "You're not working out?" And I said, "I can't. My back is killing me. I can't do anything right now." So, so I had to take a couple of days off from training and working out. I haven't been back to jiu-jitsu. I'm planning to go back Friday to class, Friday and Saturday this week. So yeah, I
You
just
don't
been.
realize how much you use your back until you mess it up.
Mm-hmm. You know
Everything
what?
you do, sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
walking, working, just picking stuff up. It
Mm-hmm.
drives me crazy. Like, I don't like being immobile like that.
Ever since I was a teenager, I've had back problems. Like my back goes out at least once a year, where it's always been like that. I remember, hell, maybe like 20 years ago, I was when I was a personal trainer, and my back went out when I was teaching a body sculpting class. I had to do the class in a chair. I told my class, I told them, I said, "Listen, I'm in a lot of pain. I cannot stand up. I can't do the exercise with y'all, but I wasn't going to not let you guys train today. So I'm going to sit in this chair and you guys going to do the techniques, and I'm just going to create what I want." So
something better than nothing.
Yeah. Other than that, man, everything is same old, man. I'm just, falling into the routine. Taking care of stuff. We got clients are still, potential customers are still calling for the school. So, man, I got a couple people that want to come in this month, and I normally never let new people start in October because their trial always ends right before Christmas, and they never come back at the beginning of the year. I should have told them to wait to November. As we're talking now, it just hit me. But some of these people, they were supposed to come in September, so they haven't come in, but they've still been calling and texting. I have one lady who she keeps on having issues with family stuff, personal stuff. So
Okay.
I told her when she texted me the other day, I just said, "You know what, just wait till Monday and come in Monday." But now I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, I told her don't. My plan is not to come into November, but we'll see what happens. Maybe she might keep pushing it off some more. Who knows? So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And other than that, man, next week going back to Indy. Another time, I got a bunch of crap to do down there for work. So it's gonna be this is gonna be one of the busier indie trips I've had in a while. So that's Thursday, and then I'll be back sometime on Sunday.
You earn that paycheck.
Definitely. Especially with everything. I mean, everything has been changing so much over the last couple of years with work. Since T-Mobile purchased us, so they definitely gonna put us to work now. So
For sure.
I have had a busy week and a half because a bunch of new stuff just dropped, and they made some adjustments to our work schedule. But I've been having a good time working, so it's not. I'm not complaining about all the extra work. It's pretty fun, so I'm cool. So, but let's get into our movie for this week. So we are watching Demolition Man, and like I said, it's technically not a martial arts movie, but Wesley Snipes is doing nothing but martial arts.
I counted 4 scenes at least. That's more than some of the other. I counted 4 scenes with Wesley Snipes doing martial arts at least.
Yeah.
So to me, that's more than some of the other movies we've done.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So come at us. And this was a fun movie.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time I saw this movie, but I'm gonna watch it again because I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this movie really makes you think, because I feel like there's people out there that would like us to get to this kind of dystopian type of world that they get to in the future. And I say, after watching this, no freaking way.
Well, you know what's funny, man? This movie came out in '93, right? The movie, when it opens, it takes place in '96, and I have no idea. Once again, they make our history. I mean, they make the future always look so bad. Anytime somebody does anything in the future, it's always this post-apocalyptic.
Well, it opens up in Los Angeles '96, and everything's on fire.
Right now, when they go to the future, what was it? 2036 or something like that. Something like that. It was funny because, like I said, this was created in '93, but they have stuff that we have now, right? Look at what we're doing right now. We're communicating online. People were
Mhm.
talking and looking at a screen. They had tablets and they were talking. They were doing FaceTime on tablets. They were
Mhm.
doing FaceTime meetings. What else? They had some of the self-driving cars. I was looking at that car. I was like, I wonder is it a Tesla? The police cars.
And
You
the
know.
idea of the chips in the arms to
Mhm.
control money and everything, I've
Mhm.
heard talk about that many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that doesn't shock me either.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Not at all. You know. Now
But
I'm
we'll
glad that Taco Bell is not the. I mean, I enjoy Taco Bell. I used to, but I'm glad it's
okay,
not the only
they
restaurant
turned
now.
Taco Bell into like a fancy
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, and didn't look like that food was going to fill you up either.
No, I did not at all. So we open up with like a police getting ready, the LAPD getting ready to take someone out, and we meet John Spartan. Is
Mhm.
that played by Sylvester Stallone, and he's like a one man show, you know. And you find out later, the Demolition Man, that's his nickname, because
Mhm.
apparently when he goes after somebody, like he takes out the whole town with him. If something's blowing up, something's getting crushed, you know, he's taking out property. This is his thing. I mean, he must be good at his job because they keep him around, even though he does damage, all kinds of city damage and costing the city money and all this stuff. So he's chasing after Wesley Snipes' character. Why can't I think of his name off the top of my head?
Simon Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix. Yeah, fun names. John
Yeah,
Spartan, Simon Phoenix. Right there.
yeah.
When I read that in the thing, I was like, okay, this is gonna be.
Just
So
because of the name, so the names
yeah,
got you.
but Wesley Snipes is he to me. Like, don't get me wrong, Sylvester Stallone makes this movie pretty good, but Wesley Snipes brings it home. He has this Dennis Rodman look, and he acts like him too in this. To me,
You know who he acted like to me?
who?
He reminded me of a black Joker. That's who he was like to me. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Joker really doesn't fight or anything like that,
yeah.
but he was insane. Like he was nuts.
He was very violent. He liked violence. It didn't bother him at all. He liked chaos, and I guess him and Spartan like had some kind of rivalry because Spartan was like on him, and he's
Mhm.
the idea behind this is he's looking for 8 hostages from a bus. Now, I don't
So he had been
understand.
chasing him for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's underground and the rest of the police force won't go after him because he said something along the lines of, "I told people not to come down here. I'm going to blow everything up." I don't know.
Mhm.
Just you know, typical bad guy crap. But Spartan's he's not worried about it. He's going to go after him. And then the first time we see Wesley Snipes, he's taking this big ass knife and punching holes in some gasoline. And then Spartan shows up, and you're like, here's the showdown. And he is sitting there with an acetylene torch, getting ready to blow up the place.
Mhm.
And again, Spartan don't care, and he's laughing at him.
Mhm.
So Phoenix is laughing at him, and he's not worried about him lighting up the gas. Because
Mhm.
what he does is he lights a cigarette, then he turns off the acetylene torch, and he just throws the cigarette, and then Spartan runs through the fire to get this dude,
Mhm.
knocks him out. Why knock him out and not leave him there?
That's what I was thinking.
He takes him with him, like
Yeah.
he's running for his life from a building that's about to blow up.
He,
Takes
he
him with
shouldn't have
him,
made it out.
yeah,
he
over his
should.
shoulder, fireman style,
Yeah.
right before the building blows up. And then
Mhm.
backup shows up and is like, "Can you go anywhere without break?" Like, that's why he's the demolition. They literally said that's why they call him the Demolition Man.
Mhm.
Well, then Phoenix is sitting there and he's laughing. He's getting ready to go to jail. And the jail for this place is even crazier, by the way. And he's laughing because apparently this was his plan.
Mhm.
I'm going to get taken down. I'm taking John Spartan with me.
Mhm.
So they find the rest of the police say they found 20 other bodies. So they're assuming, I don't know why he thought there was only 8.
20 or 30.
Yeah. 20 or 30 bodies, and so they put that on Spartan for not following protocol. And he says, I'm telling you that he took them somewhere else. Those aren't the but they still put that on him. I don't know. He pissed off the wrong people. And then
so the hostages were there and they did blow up. But I mean, it's kind of messed up that he had to take the fall for that. Because he didn't
but if he would have followed protocol, waited for backup, listened to instructions, I don't know if they were going to get like a negotiator. I don't know. I mean, I guess he was like, I've been chasing this guy for 2 years. We finally got him cornered. And it was kind of weird that like he didn't have a lot of people that was helping him. You would have thought the police should have been able to go in as a unit. He said they won't go in.
Well, because I mean, I'm assuming that the police were probably worried that he would have done exactly what he did. Killed the hostages. There's not too many people that just go in when they know there's always negotiating, like you said.
Yeah. So the idea in this era is instead of like an actual prison set, like going to prison, he got 70 years in a cryo.
Yeah.
And I think Phoenix got less than that, like 30 years or 40 years.
I don't remember hearing what. I don't think they did say what his.
It seemed like it was less than Spartan. Anyhow, so they put you in this cryo.
He came up for parole. That's what it was.
They put you in this cryo prison. So basically, they freeze you for the next 70 years, and their idea is to come up with a rehabilitation program that they're going to show you every day, teach you new skills, teach you how to be a better person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how the movie starts off.
Mm-hmm.
These two have been frozen. Obviously, we figure out, I mean, the movie is based around them, so they're going to unthaw at some point and probably start chasing after each other. Just how long into the future? I don't think they're going 70 years, but we do find out 2036, was it? Or
I believe it was, yeah.
Was it 2336? Like, no, it was 30
no. Yeah.
It was like 42 years in the future, actually, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So we go and we kind of see him and they do this dramatic thing, and then all of a sudden it's Sandra Bullock in a car that drives itself. She's talking to somebody and they're speaking kind of weird. So already we're like, okay, something weird is going on. And the more they reveal of this new age world 40 years later, you're like, okay, so something happened and like this is a new age kind of world. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it sucks. That's all I can say.
It's too nice for you. It's too
sucks.
happy.
Gene, they fine you for swearing.
Yeah. Well, I know my whole check would have been gone.
Right?
No, I know that.
And it's not like they send you a bill. No, so credits are the new currency, and they go right into your chip that goes into your arm. Well, those credits just come out every time you're swearing. And there's a machine in the background that goes
all over because it's everywhere.
Says your name, your violation, and then even this new age graffiti. So this machine pops up, graffiti's the wall, and then instantly the wall gets rid of the graffiti. And then they show a camera. And do you know Dennis Leary's character? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, his name was Edgar Friendly.
Okay, so this is the part of the world that they're trying to get rid of because this is like the people who are either rebelling or maybe they don't fit into this system because this is like highbrow society. So these are the people who are the outliers, the ones who don't want to conform or don't make enough money. I don't really understand like how they ended up where they are. I think they're just, rebelling maybe against this.
never really explained, but you're right. They are
Yeah.
the people who did not want to conform to what this new perfect society.
And then who else do I just the comedian that's at the beginning? What's his name?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah, that made me laugh. He's so
Yeah.
young in there. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people in this movie. I recognize more faces than I do the name. I mean, so it was interesting because there's a lot of other people, but the police force seems like Sandra Bullock's character is the what's her name?
Man, what was her name? Huxley, right? Huxley.
Huxley.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On her way to work, she kind of is like she's hoping for like something new. It seems like every day, like there's not much crime.
Mm-hmm. She's bored.
Yeah, there's almost like why do they have all these police?
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, I don't see. I would think like 2 police officers and the rest would be like robots or something. Like I don't even know. They basically said like there's not a whole lot. And then this is the first time we see this. She goes in and swears about her boss, and that's the first time we see this stupid machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Giving her a fine. So then she's talking to.
So she is also infatuated with the 20th century. So she loves our old action movies and violence and everything.
I didn't even. She's got Lethal Weapon 3 on her poster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I know this guy too. I can't think of his name, but that's talking
about the guy that was her partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
I don't remember, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff. So, she's telling him basically like she's kind of hoping for some action, and he's like, why? Like, all we ever get is the same thing. Like, why do you like chaos? Don't you like the world the way it is? Oh, of course I do. Like, they don't even like high five. They do some weird like barely touching hand thing. Yeah, I don't even remember what they say because it was so stupid. Salutations. I don't know.
Or be well or something. They talk funny. They talk a little weird.
And then we see Phoenix for the first time in his 42 years. He's been in cryo prison, and he's up for parole, and he's kind of acting exactly like you think he would. He's speaking only Spanish. Mm-hmm. He's not answering the question that's given to him. He's only speaking Spanish. Mm-hmm. And at first I was thinking like, I know like a lot of movies portray like something like this where you're frozen and your brain gets messed up for the first hour or two. So I thought maybe like his brain just needed a reset. But then you realize he was just being a dick.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Because he kind of smirked at him.
Yeah, he was smirked at him, and then something dawned on him where he knew apparently how to get out of the cuffs because he was restrained. And they asked him even, they're like, how did you know the keyword? And he goes, I don't know. So already you're like, okay, something's going on here, but you don't know yet. So, and then he knows a lot of other things. Like obviously he's part of his retraining. He might have been a part of a special program or something. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm thinking at this point. But he basically kills everybody on the score. And he takes the guy's eyes so he can get around the building. Because everything's retina scanned.
And that's once again, that's us unlocking our phones. It looks at our face and we can unlock our phone. Our apps.
So then we get back downstairs to the police officers, and an alarm goes off, and it throws a 187. Mm-hmm. And a 187, isn't that just murder?
I don't know. I know of this movie is Murder, Death, Kill.
I know. That's why I was getting to. They're like, they don't even know what that is. They have to look it up.
That is the California Penal Code, I believe, for murder. But I don't know if the death kill part is part of it also.
It's a little redundant, so I don't think so.
Yeah.
Murder, death, kill. And so they're watching like 4 people die, And then at the same time, they're watching more people die. And they realize, for whatever reason, Phoenix is not chipped. So they can't track him like they could other people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at a loss here right now. Not only that, they don't seem violent at all.
No, these
people someone does mention that. They're like, this guy's killed 4 people. Like, what are we going to do against him? We're not trained for this.
I think Rob Schneider's character even said that. That's what he said.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, we're not. What are we supposed to do? We're not trained for this. Basically, we're pansies.
Yeah.
But there is a guy that's been there for a while, and so he knows what's going on. He knows that he's like, that's a bad dude. Like, we're all in trouble. And so Huxley comes up with the plan. Oh, well, I guess it's a little bit later. But basically, she asks him, how did we defeat him before?
Mm-hmm.
And so in a few, she's going to come up with like, well, why don't we just release that guy, deputize him, and, maybe he can help us out, which is a good idea. But of course, her boss doesn't like that idea. He thinks that he believes in the system they have now. So he sends a unit after them.
Yeah, and that's stupid because, listen, if there has not been any murders in decades, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 murders show up from one person, you should know that you are not equipped to deal with this. And it was kind of funny when they had the surveillance on him, when they finally figured out where he was, because he stole one of those doctors' car. So they were able just to track his vehicle. And then they saw the location where he was at. And so they're watching him when the police show up. that I would have quit right then and there if I was one of those people. They don't know any martial arts. They don't know anything.
A smart person would have. So he gets out of the building and he starts checking out they got these info centers. It's basically a computer. So, I mean, they made it look fancy because it's the future. But he knows, like, he almost seems like he's a hacker. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, probably something that he learned under cryo.
Oh, it definitely was, because he was even typing away. He was like, look at me, I'm possessed. He didn't even know what the hell was going on.
But the first thing he brings up is a file of Dennis Leary's character. And he looks at it and Crossbones goes. So now at this point, I'm starting to think like, okay, he's out for somebody let him out. I don't know who, but somebody let him out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out another 20 minutes down the road. But so this whole thing was planned for a certain reason. So the next thing he looks for is he's looking for a gun, because this world doesn't have guns. The police don't even carry guns. They got little batons that shock you.
Yeah.
They don't even shock you like a taser. They just kind of give you a little zap and knock you out.
Yeah, for a little while, because Sandra Bullock's character, Huxley, she ends up getting hit with one of those, and she was back up like 15 minutes later.
Yeah. So, and then he's cussing and getting, violations and all kinds of craziness. And he don't care. Like I said, he's looking for a gun. And of course, the only guns are in museums of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
But then the police show up. This part got me pretty good, because the police show up and they're talking to the little tiny tablet thing, right? And everybody's back at the thing watching, like, okay, the guys are there, they're gonna show up, they're gonna take care of this and take this dude out. But this guy literally asks the computer what to do in this situation. The computer says in a firm voice, tell him to lay down and put his hands behind his back. And he seems confused by this, but of course he does it. And he says, "Make me."
Mm-hmm.
Then he asks the computer again. Okay, he didn't listen. What do I do now? And the computer says, ask him again, very aggressively and firm. Dude, get your weapon out. Take him out. Do something.
And Simon Phoenix seemed very annoyed at this point in time.
Why wouldn't he be? I would be laughing. He didn't even stop on the computer to look at them. They were just talking to him. He's like, man, go away. Leave me alone. I got stuff to do. And then at some point, the guy does kind of start trying to get aggressive. And then he takes that personally, and he sees a guy with the weapon. So he uses the computer to activate the electrodes that took out the paint earlier.
Yeah, he saw someone creeping around the corner, and he was against the wall, and he just knows how to make this computer work and make the anti-graffiti come out. So he does that and kills that guy, and pretty much shocks everyone that's watching on the screen because they never. That would be the first time they've ever seen something violent happen because they didn't see he beat up the doctors.
He kicks the crap out of the rest of them.
Yeah, yeah,
and they're all freaking out because they're like, "What? Like, how do we take on someone this violent? We don't know. They don't know. They haven't known violence like this for however long. This dystopian world. I mean, he kicked open a windshield and threw a guy 20 feet. So, yeah, it's a problem. And then the one guy does put his fist up, but he tells him, "Come on, come on."
Yeah, he mocks him. He mocks him.
And then he makes his way over to the museum, and then we meet, I guess, the creator of this.
Well, first, before we get to any of that, they let John Spartan out.
Did they already?
Yeah, because he went to the museum. He was still at the museum when he got there. So they let John Spartan out.
Not before they show the guy. He's in a meeting and they talk to him about what to do. Because they got the kid. This guy was the.
I thought you were talking about the part where he ran into him.
No.
Okay.
He's in a meeting with a bunch of robot people, and then the Orzo from Beetlejuice walks in, looking exactly the same with some different hair. Like, what in the world?
He actually is the same character. He does this character also on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is him.
That's just you're exactly right. I don't think I've seen anything where he doesn't do the same exact character. So
in this movie, his name is Associate Bob.
So, like I said, Sandra Huxley talks to a guy who used to work with John Spartan, and she comes up with this idea. She offers it to the boss. The boss is not into it, but he does go along with it because everyone else is like, "What else are you going to do?"
Yeah, he just beat up about 4 or 5 cops. When I just beat up and killed some of them.
Without an issue. So they unfreeze John Spartan, and like you said, Huxley, she's intrigued by the whole idea of meeting somebody from an era that she's been studying, and so is her partner. But the captain is like, "Dude, do your job, or I'm gonna put you right back in the you don't want nothing to do with this." He thinks that they could have handled it on their own.
If I'm John Spartan, I probably don't do it. I'm probably like, you know what? Yeah, just put me back. I'm not doing it. Like I did this last time, and you guys, and for thanking me, you guys have put me in this cryo prison. I'm not doing this again.
Well, and as normal, the first thing he wants to know about, like, I had a wife, I had a kid, like, where are they? And they're like, well, your wife died, kid, we don't know. And they never really brought the kid back up again later.
Nope.
I thought for sure that they would at least help him find his kid, but I mean, it is what it is. So, like I said, he didn't get the warmest welcome, and he wasn't willing to play ball right away, but eventually he's on board. And it's so funny because like he comes out, first off, he's having trouble using the bathroom because they don't got no toilet paper. They got seashells, which I don't know where the joke in that was, because nothing I can think of it works well with seashells.
No.
They're making fun of them for not knowing how to use them. But he figured out how to do it, because once he figured out you swear and you get a ticket, he got about 8 of those tickets so he could go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is gonna be that kind of movie, because
he just kept cussing.
Well, here's the thing. So every time they showed me something that was out of the ordinary, then my brain goes to, okay, I hope they show us, because I know they're gonna ruin love making for us. And I'll say it like that because that's I knew they were going to get to it eventually, and they did. And they did ruin it. After that, I was like, no, this world sucks. That is stupid. Whatever idea that was should be hanged.
Once again, Joe, that is pretty much virtual reality. And there is virtual reality adult entertainment now.
Yes, I know.
So that's I mean, but you don't need another real life person to be in the room from you with something strapped to the back of your head.
That I want to know how many takes it took for them, because that whole thing was so awkward and so funny. Like, I don't know how you sit there and not laugh your butt off. So Phoenix shows up at the museum, and of course he's causing havoc already.
And John Spartan said that's where he's going to go. Once he found out what was going on, he said he's going to go get a gun. Yeah, and chief, they didn't believe him at first. The chief didn't believe him.
The chief used the computer, and the computer said he was going to look for a lab and start his old operation up. That's what the computer came up with, because computers are always right. But of course, Spartan said, nah, he's going to realize this world doesn't have weapons and he wants a gun. Where does he get a gun? And then all of a sudden, an alert comes across, hey, the museum of the 20th century is under attack. I wonder why. So already John Spartan's showing his use. And now the crazy thing to me about this, though, he goes to this museum. You're telling me this museum not only has guns, but they have the guns already loaded?
I assume
they had the guns with the ammo sitting there.
I thought they had the ammo sitting there because, I mean, you got to be a special kind of stupid to put a loaded weapon behind a
special kind of stupid to put the ammo with them. What do you need?
Yeah, well,
there was no demonstration of these weapons, so you don't need the ammo. If it's a museum, you can. I've been to the Henry Ford has a museum of old guns. I don't see any bullets, because it takes one crazy person to load those guns and start shooting like this. So that part got me a little bit. I mean, he seemed like he had unlimited ammo. And then, of course, and I'm glad they put this part in because it did make sense. He's like, oh, this is the future. Where's the phasers?
Yeah.
Laser guns and stuff. And he found one, but I mean, they made it practical because it had to be charged. It was like an ion gun more than a phaser gun, but it was basically like it needed like a minute and a half charge, and then it was pretty powerful, and then you had to wait a minute and a half again. So
I like the fact that he couldn't break the glass that had all the guns.
Yeah.
And this guy just walks up to him, starting a conversation, and he just throws him through the glass, and he's able to get the weapons out.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. Pretty funny.
As I was watching
of course,
this,
they're back to
As I was watching this, I was like, man, this will be kind of cool because it's been 32 years since this movie came out. At this point in time, you could do a remake, but do you go remake movie or do you do a series? I think I like it better as a series because you get to stretch it out.
A series would be interesting. Yeah, you could stretch it out and you could do a lot with that. That'd be interesting. Yeah,
I bet I want, and I'm just thinking of this just now, but I think Mahershala Ali, he could play Wesley Snipes, Simon Phoenix. He could play that. He could play that character. That was the guy that was supposed to be the new Blade. I think.
Yeah, but what happened with that movie? Did it get 86 or what?
I don't know. I think Marvel is still trying to kind of figure out what they want to do after Secret Wars and Doomsday. I don't think they know right now.
So Phoenix and Sparta, they have their little brawl and everything, but Phoenix gets away and he escapes through the back of this museum, and he runs into like I said, the guy, Mr. Eggert or something like that? Or is that the one he's supposed to be?
You talking? Oh no, you talking about the guy that's like did they give that guy a title? Like he acts like he's the president, but like you're talking about the city.
Pope almost. He's dressed like the Pope.
Yeah. This guy is the person that supposedly saved the city. Evidently, in some point in time, I don't remember what year they said, but there was a big earthquake,
Yeah.
and the earthquake in California uh pretty much destroyed Los Angeles and San Diego and some other city. So now the new city is all of those cities combined. And this guy, I guess he was the architect that put this stuff together. Well, do you have his name? If not, I'll look it up.
I don't, but for whatever reason, Phoenix won't kill him. So we're assuming he's kind of the puppet master behind all the training and releasing him.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a quick conversation, and he basically tells him, You're supposed to go. You're supposed to go find and kill this guy that's been giving me trouble and is disrupting my dystopian world." And so, before John Spartan gets there, he runs away, and then everybody else shows up, and he wants to know who and why John Spartan is here, and basically, the captain says, "I told you the other day," but he was doing his own thing, so he wasn't paying attention. But he's like, "Well, I guess I do recall his exploits, and he probably could be helpful." And that's when they talk to him about being the Demolition Man again. And so he kind of sucks up to him a little bit, and then
His name is Dr. Raymond Cocteau.
okay. They talk about the fact that Phoenix can't really. He's limited on where he can go because he doesn't have any money because he doesn't have a chip. So he can't get a hotel, he can't get food. So they're kind of basically saying like he's probably gonna go underground somewhere and hide until he makes his next move. So they decide to go to dinner, and like you said, they talk about how Taco Bell was the one that survived the great fast food wars.
Right.
Whatever that means.
They I remember when the movie came out too, man. They actually used part of this movie for a Taco Bell commercial.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And they go to this Taco Bell, and I'm expecting a regular Taco Bell, and of course it's set up like a Michelin 5-star restaurant, which is just that in itself is hilarious.
It did not look like Taco Bell at all. It looked like something like, I don't know, Root Chris or something like that.
But a lot of the people are treating John Spartan like a Neanderthal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really unfair to do that because this dude has literally been frozen.
This dude is also
2 years.
He's the same age as these people's parents.
Yeah.
So you would have thought they would have had a little bit more respect for him and asked some questions about living in the 80s and 90s and 70s.
Nope, don't care. During dinner, he notices one of those cameras, and then he goes out and he takes out some of the underground people, and he notices while he's fighting against them, and I mean he basically takes out the whole group more or less. He just knocks the tent over and this and that. But when the main ones escape and I guess don't get arrested, and he's noticing they're just trying to get food. They're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find out like he thought they were a threat, and now he's realizing like they're not a threat. And he talks to the main guy about it. He's like, dude, what kind of world is this where you got people starving? Like, if you're supposed to be so great and you've solved all the problems, why do we have these people who are living underground and starving?
Yeah, I mean, because they up to this point, he didn't know anything about these people. Nobody told him about them. He hadn't seen them or anything yet. So he was a little. He seemed like he was a little upset that nobody said anything, or they're treating them like criminals.
Yes, that's exactly how they were treated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you start saying, okay, this is not about peace and serenity. This is about we're better than you. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, basically, that's kind of the big secret of this movie. The guy running everything, he wants his perfect world, and they don't fit into it.
Kato.
And that's why he released Phoenix to take this guy out, because it was a problem for him. He's going against everything he came up with, and this power hungry freak's like, you got to kill this dude, like get him out, and he can't do it. Phoenix, for whatever reason, can't kill him. So Phoenix shows up at his place and basically says, "Hey, I'll do what you need me to do, and then I want to be off the hook for everything else. But I'm going to need about 5 or 6 guys, and I'm picking them. I don't want some of your dumb cronies, and then I'll get it done." But like I said, John Phoenix is pretty smart. So I mean, Simon Phoenix is pretty smart. So I already was thinking like, nah, he's looking for 5 dudes to help him out so he can get rid of this guy.
Did you peep who one of those guys were?
No.
Jesse Ventura.
Oh, yes. I saw that at the beginning credits.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did see that at the beginning credits. So Huxley, whatever her name is, Huxley, she gets John Spartan his own place. I guess is this set up like an apartment or a condo?
It seemed like in her apartment building.
Yeah. So he's got a place close to hers. And then, this is the part where I knew it was about to get weird, because she basically comes in the door, and nobody's this bold. So I already knew, like I said, it was going to be weird, because she's like, watching you throw those ruffians around really got my motor going, basically, is what she was saying. And I would like to make love. And of course, John Spartan's like, dude, I've been gone for 42 years. My wife is dead. Like, yeah, let's do it. So, he assumes she's going to get more comfortable, come out, it's about to be on. But she comes out with a box and some headsets, like you said, virtual reality. And then that's what this is. It's just 2 people sitting next to each other. And he's trying to get into it, but he's like, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so
well, it started working.
Well, yeah. But eventually he's like, he stops and he's like, what is happening? She's like, well, we're having a very intimate moment. He's like, no, we're not. He was like, what happened to sex? Like, what happened to boning? Like, what's happened? She's like, you mean the transfer of fluids? That was outlawed how many ever years ago? And he's like, what? Why? She was like, because it's disgusting. It's gross. It leads to this, and that, all bad things. They're like, basically, it's evil. And then he's like, well, how do people have babies? Well, you have to get approved to have a baby, and then it's all done in a lab. And at that point, I was like, okay, screw this world. They just took the fun out of life. There's a lot I can get down with, but that one, come on, man. That's stupid. So he goes away like, all right, well, that was weird, but okay. Now
we might be headed to that type of life, man, another 20 or 30 years, man. You never know. Like I said, we already, like you already don't have to have opposite sex people to have a baby now. Like you literally can go to a lab. You can have sex through virtual reality now, so never know. I mean, technology is going to keep getting better and better, and you've seen those robots that they're making in
that stuff is so creepy.
Yeah, it's only going to get better in 20 or 30 years. You might have one of them damn things walking around, and you won't even know that it's not even a real person.
Westworld. So he asked her for something, and she gave him a disc. So he looked at the disc, and he discovered that what did you call him? Was in on it? The main guy.
Raymond Kato.
Yeah, that he was basically the one that released Phoenix, and he confronted
he saw them talking to each other outside of the museum.
He confronted him about it, and basically he convinced a couple. He convinced Huxley and her partner to at least escort him on this adventure where they're basically breaking the law at this point. That's basically like putting a gun to the president. No, I mean,
and also he also noticed something as he's watching this video. He has a knitting kit in his little box.
I forgot. Yeah, he knitted her a sweater.
He knits her a sweater, and then he was like, "I don't even know like how I know how to do this." And they said that was part of his rehabilitation program, and he gets pissed because Simon Phoenix knows all of these different martial arts skills, and here he is knitting. That's what he got to do.
Yeah, I feel ripped off too. That's cool.
Right.
So the funny thing is now I don't know how he figures out how to go underground and find the scrapes or scrappers or whatever they call them, but he does.
I think he saw them after the Taco Bell thing. I think that's how they got away. He saw them go under there.
So he figures that's his best way to get some reinforcements to help him take out Phoenix and hopefully make this world a little better. So, and then the first thing he wants to do when he gets down there is there's a like a bar with food. So he's like, I want to get some like actual good food. He asks for a burger and a beer, and Huxley basically tells him like, you know they don't have any cows down here. So do you know what kind of burger that is? And he's like, what? He's like, rats. And he just looks at her and goes, still tastes good to me. I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what he did.
Nasty, but I guess compared to the other crap, he's like, whatever. I don't care.
That little bit of food that he ate at Taco Bell probably didn't fill him up. So, and he needed some grease. Sometimes you need some grease.
So, Dennis Leary's character, what do we call him?
Edgar Friendly.
Edgar Friendly. He shows up, and they talk things out and kind of come up with an alliance. And he wants to take out Simon, but he also wants to take out what's his face?
Cocteau.
So, and I guess I don't know how, but for some reason he feels like he would be a better leader than Cocteau. And I guess just because, he's been taking care of all these people for however long as rebels. And then all of a sudden Simon shows up. So
yeah,
I guess
he's watching them.
Yeah, the final showdown's about to happen. And
I didn't understand because at this point he was way above them. He's looking down. He sees John Spartan and he sees Edgar Friendly together.
Yep.
He could have just popped them both and been done with it.
Well, he said that. He's like 2 for 1, but he didn't.
Yeah, he shot at them, but he missed. It's like that should have been an easy shot.
The first thing Spartan noticed when he got down there was a really nice car, and Huxley actually knew a lot about the car because, like I said, she's really into the 20th century stuff. So I like that he got into the muscle car, so he doesn't got to drive one of them crummy
police cars.
He caught up to Simon, and he's weaving in and out of traffic, and people are probably like, "What in the world was that?" Because everything in this world is just the same. It's boring. They're
super nice.
Yes. And he's just going crazy, weaving in and out. And so the car crashes and it like erupts in foam. I guess that's the new airbag system. Some kind of super styrofoam type thing. Something like that.
Now, was he in that car or was he in a police car? Did he end up in the police car when that happened?
Transferred from the other car to the police car.
Yeah.
And Huxley said that it saved his life. And of course, so basically John Spartan's like, okay, I got my army. Who wants to come with me? Of course, the police chief is against it because he's a goody two-shoe. But Huxley and her partner...
to put him back in the cryo prison.
Yeah, I know. He's been threatening the whole doggone movie. So
yeah, I would have been like, you guys are all dead if I go away. When I wake up, I might not even wake up. Matter of fact, he might not have even gotten back out of that thing. No, because if I'm Simon Phoenix, I'm going to beat everybody else up, and I'm probably going to go here to this cryo prison and make sure you're dead. So,
because after Phoenix basically fails to kill everyone, he just goes back to the dude in charge, and he gets one of his guys to kill him, and they throw him in a fire, and they're basically like, "We're in charge now." Yeah. And their idea, he's going to release the rest of the prisoners, all his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So now Phoenix
And they definitely would have took over.
Oh yeah, 100%. They wouldn't have been able to do anything about that.
No.
So now they realize they have to go back there and stop that from happening because it's going to be over after that.
The only thing I was wondering, man, is I wonder if the rest of the United States was like this city, or was this peace and happiness just this city? They didn't really explain.
No, they didn't. And it would have been hard to explain that. Because when he was in a room talking to all those robot people, maybe they were like the new United Nations or something. I don't know.
They didn't really explain who those people were either, did they?
They never did. He just was like, 1 minute he's talking to him, the next minute he's not. So ultimately, they have their final showdown, and it ends with this part I do remember because I always thought it was cool. The freezing mechanism is released, and Spartan takes the electro because it's all water based, and he basically creates an electro freeze throughout the whole thing that freezes anything in the water, the frozen water, and it's basically like liquid nitrogen. It just freezes your whole everything, and then he destroys Phoenix that night and makes sure that nobody else is released after they have their fight. And I always thought that was cool because Time Cop did that where he froze the guy's hand and kicked it. I always thought the whole liquid nitrogen. I wonder how that would be so crazy to like kill someone like that. Like, hopefully it's instant because man, that would.
Well, it looked like it. I mean, even if it wasn't instant, he kicks his head off. He's dead.
He's making sure he's not thawing out. He's like, nah, dude, you're done. You're terrible. And like I said, he puts Edgar in charge or whatever his name is, and then he gets the girl at the end, and she after they kiss a couple times, she was like, "Oh, are all bodily fluid transfer?" And he tells her better. That's how you end a movie.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, a few things that were a little crazy to me for this, but the movie itself was so good. The idea,
I did like the fight scenes. I did like Wesley Snipes' fight scenes.
Wesley Snipes in his prime, him and Stallone together was so good. I definitely give this movie an A. It was very entertaining. I will definitely watch it again, and it was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I'm giving it an A also, man. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I remember going to the theater to see this movie when it came out, and I know my brother Trav likes this movie also a lot. So this was a good one.
100%. Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
So what are we watching next? Because we did not talk about that. I'll give you a second to think about it. So last week on Superflix, Joe and I's other show, we covered Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and this week we are covering the final film in the Bill and Ted saga, Bill and Ted Face the Music. So we are that will be out Friday of this week. So Joe, as far as Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, what are we going to do next week? We haven't done a Jackie Chan movie in a while.
Yeah, but which one have we done?
Yeah, which one haven't we done?
You ever see the Tuxedo?
I did see that, but I don't think we did that for Fists, Kicks, and Flicks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's fun. I mean, it's not spectacular, but it's a fun one.
All right.
There's give us plenty to talk about, and there's a lot of martial arts in that one.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Ain't no need to rack your brain, man. So.
Well, the other one I had set up was Michael Jai White, Trouble Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one with his wife, right?
Yep.
You know what? Let's do that one. And then we'll do Tuxedo after that. Hopefully, I remember or you remember.
Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. Good. Anything else, Joe?
Oh no, man.
Flex Bros.
We'll have a new episode coming out in a couple days. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with that. Getting some good stuff. Yeah, that's all I got. What do we get? That'll be episode 7. So.
All right, and once again, make sure you guys listen to Super Flicks on Friday. We are doing Bill and Ted, Face the Music, and that's it. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a winner circle next week. Isaiah's here in Michigan, taking care of some business, and he said that he wasn't sure if he will be back on Saturday or if he will be back Sunday night. So he's not sure. So, and Chris hasn't said anything. So I don't know.
Dude is so freaking busy, man. He makes my busy look like nothing.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.